And we say good morning to you. Welcome aboard. We're live at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City on this final day of November 2017. Countdown to Christmas at 24 days from today. And this is show number 644. And we are loaded for bear today. We got Andy Dietrich going to come by, the co-owner of Champion Chevrolet, with a big announcement. So, Andy is a piece of work, man. I'm telling you. He's going to be by in a little while to talk to us. Also, Carmichael joins us a little bit later on. Kevin Harmon to give us very latest on the Tennessee fiasco. We call it the Norfolk and Southern. It's a train wreck down in Knoxville. And so the very latest. And here's a coach they talked to yesterday. He said, I didn't say one thing about it. I talked to him on the phone. That's as far as we went. Crazy, crazy stuff. We got another coach that's being counter-offered by his current school. So it's all bananas. We got breaking news. We're going to get this to you in just a second from Florida State and Jimbo Fisher. But we'll kick off the show as always by dedicating to the man who hung on the cross. Our verse of the day is out of the book of Psalms, says, He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Hit the bell. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty in this Christmas season 2017. So here's the very latest. We'll kick it off in college football. Florida State officials are urging Jimbo Fisher to decide whether he'll stay at the school beyond this season or accept a lucrative offer from Texas A&M. Fisher, who has guided the Seminoles to the 2013 National Championship and 3 ACC titles, considered Texas A&M's top target to replace Kevin Sumlin, who was fired Sunday. ESPN reported last week that several Florida State officials expect Fisher to leave and have been preparing to target his replacement. We talked about that yesterday. It was Willie Taggart, the young man from Oregon, is the guy they're kind of looking at from South Florida now to Oregon. But again, the 52-year-old Fisher has hoped he could wait till after this Saturday's regular season finale against Louisiana Monroe. How bad are the Seminoles this year? They're 5-6. The game they had against Louisiana Monroe was canceled in September because of Hurricane Irma. Well, they've rescheduled it, hoping that he can get a W and get bowl eligible and can continue the streak of 35 consecutive bowl games. That's how bad Florida State has been this year. They're 5-6. They need this win on Saturday to put them in the 6-win column and move on to bowl season. Texas A&M sources have indicated that the Aggies are prepared to make Fisher one of the sport's 3 highest-paid coaches with an annual salary of more than $7 million, which would rank behind only Nick Saban, who makes $11 million a year, but be higher than Dabo Swinney from Clemson, who's making, right around $8.5 million this year, an average of $6 million over 8 years. So he would make more money than only one higher paid to be Nick Saban. Texas A&M's Board of Regents scheduled to meet later today when it could approve a contract offer for Fisher to become the university's new coach. Aggies athletic director Scott Woodward worked with Fisher at LSU, where Fisher, as offensive coordinator, helped Saban guide the Tigers to a national title in 2003. Jimbo Fisher agreed to a contract extension at Florida State in December of last year, increasing his salary to about $5.7 million, making him number 6 highest paid coach in the country. If Fisher leaves Florida State, he will owe the university about $5 million, or the total sum of the contracts of his 10 assistant coaches who are not retained by the Seminoles' new coach. So, on Wednesday night, 3 high school prospects who were committed to Florida State have decommitted from Florida State and opening up their recruitments to go elsewhere. And so, Florida State officials are urging Jimbo Fisher to announce his decision to try and salvage his recruiting class, which is currently ranked number 9 in the country. Early signing period, of course, will be from December the 20th through December the 22nd. So, again, it is the coaching carousel continues. Florida State says, Jimbo Fisher, let us know what's going on. Tell us something, good or bad. And so that's the very latest, and that's kind of kicking off the show here today as we're live at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Well, the continuing fiasco in Knoxville just continues to get crazier. Multiple reports early this morning have North Carolina State coach Dave Doeren considering both a potential deal with Tennessee and an increased offer from North Carolina State that will leave him with a 5-year contract. He wants some security in Raleigh. So from the News and Observer, Joe Giglio reports that the length of an improved contract with the Wolfpack was a major sticking point with Doeren, and a 5-year offer was what he was hoping to obtain. A decision expected to come later on today. So Tennessee's reached out to this guy, Dave Doeren, not this guy, the coach for the North Carolina State Wolfpack, and so they want an answer back. And so Dave Dorn has been countered by the North Carolina State officials, and Dorn wants a 5-year contract at North Carolina State. So if they give him that, why would they not? If they give him that contract, I'm assuming he's going to tell Tennessee no. Don't know that, but yet another person that's kind of waffling is to take this Tennessee job. I told you earlier in the week, this is not the job everybody used to think it was. It is Tennessee. It is the Southeastern Conference, but the way things have unfolded and how you've gone through Kiffin and Dooley and now Butch Jones and the upheaval with the Tennessee football program, it is not, whether you want to hear it or not, you're a Tennessee fan, it is not the lucrative job it once was. This is the way it is. Now, it can certainly go back that way, but right now, I mean, obviously the proof's in the pudding. They're out just, it looks like, it seems like, just on a plane flying anywhere to talk to anybody. Mike Gundy, I know they got a game plan, but it just seems like they're on the plane flying somewhere. It was Dave Dorn. Here's Jeff Brom, the coach at Purdue. Tennessee's wild coaching search continues to spin. Brom, who is 6-6, 6-6 in his first year, the Boilermakers coach. It's a 500 coach, for crying out loud. The coach at Purdue, he says, nope, I've had talks with Tennessee, but he did confirm there was dialogue. No deal was in place. A source with knowledge of the situation told the Knoxville News Sentinel. So, it just continues to spiral, in this case, in my humble opinion, downward. So, anyway, that's the very latest, and we'll hope to get some more information from Kevin Harmon when he calls in a little bit later on the show. We say good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. I hope you're trying to win the Cash for Christmas promotion. What are you trying to do? Every time you share or retweet this show, again, you're automatically entered to win $100 cash and other prizes as well. That's now through December the 14th, which is 2 weeks from today. The winners will be announced on air Friday, December the 15th, and the grand prize winner, of course, winning $100 cash. We'll put that in your hot little hand and get you ready to go, and that's going to be a lot of fun, and it's working already. A lot of folks are sharing the shows. All you got to do is share or retweet, and as we showed you on the promo, one share or retweet equals one entry. There is no limit on the number of entries you can make. The more the merrier. Obviously, the more you send out to share and retweet, the more points you get, and the one with the most points gets $100 cash on December the 15th, 2 weeks from tomorrow, just in time for Christmas 2017. Good morning to you. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet. Again, coming up just in a few minutes, Lisa Carter, the CEO of Niswonger Children's Hospital here in Johnson City, will be by to talk about the raffle and the buy a ticket, change a life. Again, coming up on January the 27th, 2018 at the venue in downtown Johnson City. Champion giving away, just handing the keys over again for the 11th year of a Silverado, a Traverse, or a Cadillac ATS. Your choice if you win it. She'll be by to talk about it from Niswonger Children's Hospital, the Mountain States Foundation. It's an awesome, awesome event. It's a great program, and it does great things for the kids at Niswonger Children's Hospital. And the CEO is on her way. She'll be here just in a few minutes to talk to us, and we're looking forward to talking to a very, very nice young lady, Lisa Carter, the CEO from Niswonger Children's Hospital. Again, we're live at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City on this Thursday. Again, November the 30th, final day of the month. Hard to believe. Cranking out tomorrow will be December the 1st, and it's on. At that point, it's on like Donkey Kong, getting into the holiday season very much, and Christmas, and 24 days away from the Savior's birth, and so it's actually 25 days away from the Savior's birth. 24 days you have to shop for Christmas, and so it is here, and it is upon us, and it's coming up obviously in a little over 3 weeks. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll be ready to go. We'll take a look at some more college football. We've got a college basketball coach that quit immediately. That's 2 this week. Tim Floyd from UTEP just walked away from the program. He said, I'm done. What does that teach the kids? I guess that's what I'm looking at here. What does it teach the kids on the team that, if it gets tough, I'm just going to quit, or if I'm just tired of it, I'm going to quit, or whatever. I'm just going to quit. So, anyway, we got another college coach, a D1 coach, college basketball we're talking about, quit immediately, walked in with his wife and told the AD we're gone. So they're looking for a coach there. We'll tell you who that is coming up. Also, the Bucks got a big win last night. Tennessee gets a big win. They're shooting the lights out, literally, in Knoxville. Incredible shooting percentages for Rick Barnes' Tennessee men's team, which right now they need. Somebody needs to get a little spark in the Tennessee athletic program. Right now it would appear to be the men's and women's basketball teams. So they're having a pretty good start to their seasons. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at some more college football. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Coming up, my buddy Tiffany Willis and also Lisa Carter, CEO from Niswonger Children's Hospital, due to be with us in a couple of minutes here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, 23,995. 17 track, 17,548. 17 cruise, 16,488. 17 spark, 10,950. 17 Malibu, 18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Sports Show. Thanks for being with us live again at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, on this Thursday, November the 30th. Let's take a look at a story last night out of Tallahassee. The Jimbo Fisher Radio Coaches Show. Guy stands up with an open mic at a crowd. Of course, he's in a crowd situation, and they have a chance for them to ask questions, a Q&A going on, if you will. This guy says, where's the loyalty to the program? Talking about Florida State. He's talking about bolting to go to Texas A&M. Well, this guy has the microphone taken out of his hand. Watch the video. He is escorted out of the room, and the whole time the guy with I don't know who it was, a Florida State ball cap and a Florida State polo shirt on, pushing the guy, giving him a little love shove, getting him out of there the whole time. And so he credited the fan for keeping his cool, being shoved out the door. I don't know if I would have done that. I mean, the guy's shoving him out, like, get out of here. And he just said, where's the loyalty to the program? So anyway, interesting story out of Tallahassee last night. Again, the top of the show, we told you that they have told Jimbo Fisher, they being Florida State, the proverbial poop or get off the pot, if you will. So make a decision, either play me or trade me. And so Jimbo Fisher said he wanted to wait till after the game Saturday to make his announcement. If you're going to leave, let him know. It's only fair to Florida State if you're going to pull out and go, to let them get a chance to get a couple more days to find a new coach. I'm wondering why we've never talked, if you're at Tennessee, why you've never talked to Jimbo Fisher. Why are you not talking to Les Miles? Why is he out there? Maybe he's indicated behind closed doors he's not interested. I don't know, but there's been speculation he may take Lee Corso's spot on the ESPN game days. I don't know, but the guys won a national championship with LSU in the SEC West Division, which is a tough division. I don't know why nobody's reaching out to him from UT. Maybe they have, and he has just said thanks but no thanks, as most of them have. Pac-12 championship, there's the big games coming up this week. On Friday, the Pac-12 championship, Stanford and Southern Cal. Saturday, the AAC championship, Memphis and Central Florida. The Big 12 championship, Texas Christian and Oklahoma. The Southeastern Conference championship at 4 o'clock on Saturday, Georgia and Auburn. Got a story about that coming up in a moment. The ACC Championship on Saturday evening, Miami and Clemson, and then the Big Ten Championship also on Saturday evening, Ohio State and Wisconsin. That's your big games coming up for this week. Georgia Bulldogs get another crack at perhaps the hottest team in college football. 6th-ranked Bulldogs will face Auburn for the second time in 4 weeks at Mercedes-Benz Stadium with a chance to avenge their only loss of the season. Almost certainly a playoff spot is the prize at stake. Over the last 3 weeks, Auburn has beaten 2 teams. That would be Auburn and Alabama, or the Georgia and Alabama, who have topped the playoff rankings, including a dominating 40-17 win over Georgia. Auburn also coming off the big win over number 1 Alabama, 26-14. Bulldogs had hardly been challenged since a week number 2 victory over number 15 Notre Dame. Then they came to Auburn and were thoroughly walloped on both sides of the ball. They got outgained 488-230 in the game against Auburn the first time out. You're going to see a different football game on Saturday. You wait and see. The Tigers have been rolling along with 5 straight wins since the loss to LSU. Partly thanks to 4 sacks, Georgia's produced just 46 yards on 32 carries the first time they played each other. I will bet the house, my car, I ain't got a dog, I throw my dog in there too, but I promise you Saturday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Georgia offensive football will get more than 46 yards on 32 carries. I'll bet the house on it. I'll bet that chair on it. Georgia and Auburn have staged the longest-running rivalry in the Deep South, but they've never met in the SEC championship game. Bulldogs are in the title game for the first time since 2012. They have not won an SEC championship since 2005, which is 12 years ago. So, of course, Auburn won in 2010 and 2013, and so the stage is set for the kickoff at 4 o'clock on Saturday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, which will be obviously a Georgia home game for all intents and purposes, although Auburn's not that far away from Atlanta. But again, I'm going to tell you right now, you heard it right here, Georgia's going to win that football game, and they're going to get more than 46 yards on 32 carries that run to the football against the Auburn defense. This is going to happen. NBA from last night. Let's take a look at it. Who won, who lost? Philadelphia, 5-point win over Washington. Also last night, Orlando beat Oklahoma City by 13. Detroit, a 24-point win over Phoenix. It was the Knickerbockers beating Miami, blew them out 115-86. Toronto with a 13-point win over Charlotte rather. Minnesota beats New Orleans by 8. By 18. Houston, the Rockets, 118-97 win over Indiana. Rockets are 17-4, playing some great basketball. Brooklyn beats Dallas by 5. San Antonio, my Spurs over Memphis, 104-95. And in overtime, Golden State goes in LA and beats the Lakers. Had to go to OT to do it. 127-123 was the final. Tonight, NBA basketball. Philadelphia at Boston in the Garden. Not in the Garden, but in Boston and Beantown. Celtics 18-4. Cleveland and Atlanta. Chicago at Denver. Portland hosting Milwaukee. And the Utah Jazz will be on the road in LA to battle the LA Clippers. National Hockey League from last night. On the ice, you had Boston skating past Tampa Bay 3-2. Montreal 2-1 winners on the ice over Ottawa. Anaheim goes into St. Louis and beats the Blues 3-2. And also Columbus, in Columbus, the Blue Jackets beat Winnipeg 3-2. The final. Winnipeg, one of the better teams in the National Hockey League, at 15-6 now on the season. Tonight on the ice, the Predators at home in Nashville against the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver 11-10. Preds are 15-6. Also tonight on the ice, Los Angeles skates at Washington. Montreal and Detroit against the Red Wings. Minnesota, the Wild on the ice against the Vegas Golden Knights. Dallas will be in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Calgary hosting Arizona. And the Toronto Maple Leafs will take on the Edmonton Oilers. Maple Leafs, one of the better teams in the National Hockey League, at 16-9. And that is your look again for your NBA and your National Hockey League schedule for this Thursday, November the 30th, 2017. We're live at Champion Chevrolet, again, where you have one more day. Today is the last day to have this GM employee pricing on selected Silverados, Traverses, Expresses, Tahoes, and Suburbans. Again, it's a very rare opportunity. Today's your last day. It's been going great guns this month here at Champion Chevrolet. The number one Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevrolets between Memphis and Mountain City than Champion Chevrolet. It's the number one Chevy dealer in the state, and they flat roll them out of here. And so GM employee pricing on select 17 Silverados, Traverses, Expresses, Tahoes, and Suburbans. You come in and you get the same price they get here as an employee of Champion Chevrolet and General Motors. So Andy's going to be along talking about that coming up here in a few minutes. We're We're here live again at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion. Don't forget our final show tonight, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show coming up tonight. Final show from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We're going to be talking Hokie football, talking East Tennessee State Buck football. Jeff Birchfield, Kevin Harmon will be by live, talk about the very latest on Tennessee football. We got Carmichael with the top 5 games. We're actually going to break down the championship games coming up this weekend across college football. And, of course, Dave Angie will be along as well. The lone high school football team playing from our neck of the woods today and tomorrow and Saturday, actually today and tomorrow, in Tennessee. Greenville plays tomorrow at 4 o'clock against Springfield for the 4A championship. Today you got 3 games on tap. Coming up at 12 o'clock, which is not that far away. It's Single A State Championship football. Greenback 13-1, Cornersville 13-1. 4 o'clock today, the 3A championship at Tennessee Tech in Cookeville. Alcoa 12-2 takes on Covington 13-1, and the 5A championship coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, and that will be Knox Catholic 11-3 and Beach undefeated at 14-0. Tomorrow, 2A football, Tyner and Union City. 4A football at 4 o'clock, Greenville, Springfield, and Maryville and Cane Ridge tomorrow night. 6A football to decide those 6 classifications of Tennessee high school football. We are live again at Champion Chevrolet, and don't forget, coming up tomorrow, we're going to be at Food City on Virginia Avenue in Bristol on the Food City Friday. Here it is, the Fantastic Friday one-day celebration. Got some great specials going on tomorrow, all day long at all Food Cities. For example, got to give me some of these John and Gold apples, 5-pound bag, limit $2.99 a bag. Also tomorrow, Food Club large eggs, 18 count. Going to be doing some deviled eggs for the holidays, for Christmas. Food Club large eggs, 18 to a carton, grade 8 white, limit $2, $1.99 a carton. That's going on all day tomorrow. Also, Food Club apple juice or cider, 64-ounce bottle, limit $4, 99 cents a bottle. Hostess Twinkies. There you go. Hostess Twinkies, $1.99 a box. Ding Dongs or Hostess Twinkies, limit $4, $1.99 a box tomorrow. And also at all Food Cities, you have out of the produce department tomorrow, California seedless navel oranges, 4-pound bag for $2.99, limit $2. And that's what's going on tomorrow again at your local Food City. We'll be at Food City on Virginia Avenue tomorrow with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Quick break, back with more. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on this Thursday. Coming up, we'll check in with Tiffany Willis and also Lisa Carter, the CEO, due to join us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live from Champion Chevrolet on show number 644.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the...
Make hay with sun... Oh, shoot. I just messed up.
Did you get my email this morning? I sent her a title. I didn't know if you wanted to.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, 23,995. 17 track, 17,548. 17 cruise, 16,488. 17 spark, 10,950. 17 Malibu, 18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Thanks for being with us. Show number 644. Thank you again on this Thursday. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Hard to believe the last day of the month, but it is. And so with that, I want to get this young lady on right here, and there she is, smiling and all of her pageantry. Hello, Tiffany Willis. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate you stopping by, and ran into you at Food City before Thanksgiving. You were gathering some things up for the big cooking, and did you do good? Was it good?
Yeah, it turned out good. Everybody else did the majority of the work. Like I was telling you, my brother smoked a turkey, and it just, you can't beat that. It's just so different.
Yeah, smoked turkey, mashed potatoes, the whole thing, right? Oh,
it's
yeah.
great.
Absolutely, it's great. So now we get ready for the gala, which we're very excited about. And once again, we like to brag on Champion Chevrolet. The 11th year, these folks, Tim and Andy, have given. You just don't get it and for 6 months get it back. I mean, this is your vehicle, and they've done an incredible job doing this again. And so tell us what they're giving away, and we're going to have Lisa come on and talk about from the Children's Hospital here in a moment. But let's talk about the kind of the X's and O's of the event.
Okay. Yes, like I said, thank you to Champion. Wouldn't be possible without them, and 11th year, so we're real excited about having their support. And yes, the tickets we give away at our annual Spirit Gala, and it's January 27th and here in Johnson City, but you don't have to be present to win. Tickets are $50 a piece, and 100% of that goes to Niswonger Children's Hospital, which, so we've got Lisa Carter here today, the CEO of Niswonger. It's going to talk a little bit more about the needs and just the great hospital that we have here in our region. And like I was telling you earlier, we say it's our region's hospital because it serves 29 counties. It is here in Johnson City, but it does serve all the children in 29 counties. So we're very fortunate to have it here. But the cars that you can pick, it's three different ones that you can choose from. Very nice. 2018 Cadillac ATS, 2017 Chevrolet Silverado truck, and a 2018 Chevrolet Traverse. And like you said, it's there's no lease or you purchase. I mean, you get the car. It's yours forever, and you get to pick one of those great options. And we also give away 3 cash prizes as well. The night of the gala, and $2,500 first drawing, $1,500 next drawing, and then $1,000. So 4,000 tickets is all we're allowed to sell. So your odds are pretty good. 4 drawings, grand prize, like I said, being the car, or 3 cash prizes, and you're supporting a great cause at the same time of getting an opportunity to win a car or cash. I think it's a win-win.
Oh, everybody wins in this because you can win a chance of a brand new vehicle, again, a pickup truck or a Cadillac or a Traverse from Champion Chevrolet. The hospital gets 100% of that $50 ticket to go, and Lisa's going to tell us what that goes to and how important these dollars are. And of course, Champion gets the publicity. Somebody wins the car, the hospital gets the money. It's a no-brainer. Everybody wins. And the cool part about this too is if you can't be there, you can still win either one of the 3 vehicles, or $2,500, or $1,500, or $1,000 cash prize. You don't even have to be there. So it is, as you said, it's a no-brainer, and it's going to be in a new location in downtown Johnson City this year. Is that right?
Yes, it's at the venue at the King Center downtown Johnson City, and that's the best part of the night for me is the end of before we start the after party is we have the tumbler with all the tickets in it, and Haley Dietrich draws the winning ticket, and we get the person on the phone, and we hope that they answer, and because it's in front of 350 people, and a lot of time they think it's a prank or a joke. So it's fun to hear their reaction when we tell them that they want a car.
Yeah, you call up and say, "Hey, Tom, you want a car?" It's like, "Yeah, right."
Or they forgot they bought it
bought the ticket
in October and forgot. So it's exciting to hear their reaction.
Tickets are available here at Champion. There's several ways. It's very easy to buy a ticket. Again, for those of you watching out of state, we've got 12 states watching. So this is Children's Hospital located here in Johnson City. It serves a tremendous need in the 29 counties that Tiffany alluded to. So this is a chance for even you. You say, "Well, I don't even live here." That's okay. If you win a free car, it won't matter if you live in West Virginia or South Carolina or Florida, where the folks are watching the show.
That's
free
right.
car is a free car, a free vehicle, right?
That's right.
And anybody's eligible to win it if you buy the ticket. And obviously, it goes without saying, the more tickets you purchase, the more pulls you got in the pot, better chance you're going to win, right?
That's right, exactly. And we have a website that we use, an auction site. We have people all over from California to, we've had somebody from Alaska. So like you said, it doesn't matter. You can come here and pick up your car.
That's exactly right. Now, which one do you want? We talked about this before.
Yes.
If you win it, which one you want?
Definitely the Traverse. I've got 2 young kids though, so the 3rd row seat would be ideal for me. And the new body style they came out with for 2018 is pretty sharp.
So which one you think I would like? Which one you think I'd?
The Cadillac.
You think I'd look better in the Cadillac than the pickup truck?
Well, no, I don't know. It's tough.
Boy. Either one.
The Cadillac would be your weekend car, and your truck would be your week car.
That's it. My work.
Tell Andy you need both of them.
Car. That's it. Tell Andy I want both of them. It won't be any problem with Andy Dietrich. You can do it. So. Good stuff. And of course, we can't thank Champion enough for doing this. Again, 11 years they've done this, and just hand the vehicle over, and that's awesome. And of course, that shows how much they believe in the product, which is Niswonger Children's Hospital. So it's great. Again, one more time, where can we get the tickets?
Well, you can purchase them here at Champion Chevrolet, or you can go to our website, mshafoundation.org, or you can call our office. It's 423-302-3131. We appreciate your support.
Yep, 302-3131, here live at Champion Chevrolet, or again on the internet at mshafoundation.org.
That's right.
There you go. Good job.
Pretty easy.
See you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Got your Christmas shopping done?
No.
Have you started?
I started.
Yes,
I have started.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll bring her in. It will be Lisa Carter, the CEO of Niswonger Children's Hospital. We want you to hear from her where this money goes and how important it is for the hospital. As I've told you the last couple of weeks, we've had some people that have used the services this past year of Niswonger. Has got nothing but exceptional blue ribbon, A+, however you want to describe it, whatever adjective you want, of the service of Niswonger. It's an incredible facility. We're so lucky that we've got it here in Johnson City, Northeast Tennessee. So we'll let her tell you more about it right after this. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Again, the big story coming out, Dave Dorn, the head football coach of North Carolina State, is now playing Tennessee against his school. He wants a 5-year contract. NC State says we're going to probably honor that. So if that's the case, it may be Lisa Carter, the head of the Tennessee Volunteer football team, because it would appear that he's going to stay put. Jeff Brom, the head coach of Purdue, said, I had dialogue with Tennessee, but nothing beyond that, and there was all kinds of reports that he's already accepted a job. And so for me, it's an embarrassment, but it is what it is. And so at some point, somebody's going to be the football coach at University of Tennessee, but apparently it's not going to be Jeff Brom of Purdue, and Dave Dorn of North Carolina State's kind of riding the fence right now as well. Still say the answer is Phil Fulmer. He's down there. Let him be the coach for a year or two, get somebody else in there to groom underneath him. He can put together a pretty quick coaching staff. He can save the recruits. They're decommitting left and right. So, but nobody asked me. So, but we are going to talk to, and we are going to ask Lisa Carter about Children's Niswonger Children's Hospital next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people. Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Tom Taylor Sports Show. There you see her. She is the CEO of Niswonger Children's Hospital, Lisa Carter. Hello, young lady.
Hello.
I thank you for coming by. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. Good Thanksgiving. I ate way too much, but Friday morning I was hungry again. So it's funny how that happens.
Wolf it down Thursday and still hungry on Friday.
Still hungry on Friday.
I like that. I know she's extremely busy, so I appreciate her time coming by here, and we will get right to it. As Buy a ticket and change a life. Tell me again about this awesome opportunity Champion Chevrolet is affording the Niswonger Children's Hospital.
Well, can't say enough about Andy and Tim, and I mean they have been such great supporters. Even Haley, they come out every year for numerous events and support Niswonger Children's Hospital. So this is I think the 11th year of doing this, and they've donated well over $1 million in vehicles to us, and it's an amazing thing they do. So buying a ticket, $50, all of that money goes straight back to the Children's Hospital, every penny of it. So it's really the best way to support the Children's Hospital and the work we do.
And as Tiffany said a few minutes ago, you have at least a 1 in 4,000 chance. Of course, the goal is to buy more than one ticket. The more in the pot, the better your chances. But still, odds makers would say it's a pretty good chance to win either a vehicle or 3 cash prizes. So that's really. It's really a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, you get a car, you get to support a wonderful cause, and your chances are pretty good to do it. So, absolutely.
Dr. Lisa Cardigan, the CEO of Niswonger Children's Hospital. So, tell us some of the dollars be used, where they go from the previous galas, and how important these dollars are.
A lot of the things that we're focusing on right now really are related to children outside of the hospital, how we can help kids outside of the hospital, because a lot of those programs we need funding for. For example, we do work with the school systems on literacy. We go out and partner high school students and sometimes senior citizens with elementary school students to help them achieve adequate reading levels. So we're doing things like that. We've got several initiatives, obviously, within this region. We have problem with opioid epidemic, so we're launching several programs to hopefully combat that and help babies within the hospital who are withdrawing from some of those drugs. So that's our Children's Resource Center houses all of those programs, and that's what we're using the money for this year.
For folks out there who've never been, again, we have a lot of out-of-state folks watching the show, which we certainly appreciate. Give folks an overview of how big it is, how many beds, what different, I guess for lack of a better term, departments that you have at Niswonger.
We're a 69-bed facility, so we have our biggest department is a 39-bed NICU, and that we take care of preterm infants in that unit, full-term infants that have had problems, and like I said, we also opened up last May a unit dedicated to babies who are withdrawing from drugs. So unfortunately, that population hasn't decreased yet. So that's what we're using a lot of the money and funding for. So we have a full complement of pediatric subspecialists on staff that can provide acute care, chronic care for kids all throughout the region.
I love the literacy part. Tell me some more about that. That is awesome, because I just had a discussion with someone the other day about the importance of reading, and the kids that can read and read fluently, that gives themselves a leg up, or gives them a leg up to be a success in life. So I love the literacy piece about this.
Absolutely, and believe it or not, it's also directly linked to health outcomes in adulthood. So people who struggle with reading are shown to be unhealthy as adults, and unfortunately sort of the cutoff is 3rd grade. If you're not reading at level by 3rd grade, then that sets you up for problems in education and then problems later on. So that's why we want to tackle early and get into schools and help them support kids in reading early, and again, that's why we do it as a hospital, because it really is related to health outcomes later on in adult life.
Absolutely. Again, we're talking Lisa Carter, the CEO of Niswonger Children's Hospital. You see her on the screen. Coming up the top of the hour, we'll be talking some more Tennessee football. And
I'm glad I'm not having to talk about that.
Yeah, that's kind of a hornet's nest there. And I jokingly said they may call her and ask her to be the football coach, because they can't seem to get anybody who wants to be the Tennessee coach. And that's a tough situation down in Knoxville. St. Jude's, I know we promote the St. Jude's golf tournament. They do the putt-putt golf tournament over in Kingsport. Our buddy Gary Taylor gave us a live call as they were riding the check to St. Jude's early in the year in the motorcycle rally with all the guys that load up on this Gold Wing Riders Association that raises money for St. Jude's and takes it down to Memphis. So we're big fans of St. Jude's, and so St. Jude's is tied into Niswongers.
They are. We have an affiliate clinic that is located right within our hospital, and it provides great oncology services for the children of this area, so we are very proud of that affiliation.
If Niswonger Children's Hospital was not here, where would people be going? Because obviously it's here. It saves a lot in travel and just imagine having a situation where you have a little person that's in the hospital and you're staying there, and you got to get a hotel room or whatever the case may be. Financially, it can be very draining. But luckily, we've got it here. But if it wasn't here, where would we be going?
Oh, if it wasn't here, we would have a lot of people with a lot of need. I mean, the closest children's hospital in Tennessee is in Knoxville. But you have to think about who we serve. I mean, we serve a large population. About a third of our patients come from Southwest Virginia. So while Knoxville is about an hour and 45 minutes from Johnson City, you're looking at 2.5, 3 hours from some of the places in, you know, Johnson County and some of the counties up in Southwest Virginia. So, you know, 3.5 hours is a long way to go if you have a sick child. So that's our mission, is to provide health care close to home, keep families connected and staying together. So that's why we're here in the region.
Absolutely. It's all coming up again on January the 27th at a venue in downtown Johnson City. Again, Champion Chevrolet giving away your choice. If they pull your name, it would be Andy's wife will take the big tumbler and pull the magic name out of the bucket. Can win a Chevrolet Traverse or a Cadillac ATS or a Silverado. If you won, which one would you think you'd look good in driving?
I'm thinking I'd have to have that Cadillac.
There you go. She's a Cadillac lady. And you know what? Probably so. So you tooling down the highway, you look good in that Cadillac. So.
There you go.
And the beauty of it is, again, to buy a ticket and change your life, you don't have to be there. I mean, obviously they want you there to enjoy the great evening they put on, but if you can't be there, you can still win the vehicle or the cash. There's 3 different $2,500, $1,500, or $1,000 cash prize. So, you know, it's everybody wins. The hospital wins. 100% of that $50 ticket goes to take care of these little people. And again, we win because we get the vehicle, and of course Champion wins because they're getting the advertising. So everybody wins, and it's a no-brainer. So, in closing, there is a website for folks who want to learn more about Niswonger Children's Hospital. How do we get there, and what will we find once we get there?
You can just Google Niswonger Children's Hospital, niswongerchildrenshospital.org. It has a listing of all of our services. There's directions to the facility. It tells how you can give. If you want to give outside of buying a ticket, there's opportunities there. You can look on our website online for all the information you need.
Yep, it's awesome. And it's located here in Johnson City, right beside the medical center. For folks who go, where is it? It's right here, very conveniently. And of course, all the arteries and major roadways lead right past Niswonger Children's Hospital. So I appreciate you. Christmas shopping, are we done? Have we started?
Oh, I have started. Just barely.
Just barely got
I still got some time.
Got some time. Don't rush it, Tom.
We don't need to rush it. That's
don't
right.
rush it. 24 days. And so the son is playing basketball.
Yes, have a son playing basketball.
She said he's puny. He's 6'7", so he's a little fella.
He's a little fella. He sure is. Bless him.
Bless him. Bless him. That's good. Thank you for coming. Come back anytime. If you want to come back before the event and talk again,
absolutely.
I would love for you to.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Yep. Thank you.
All right.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We're talking sports. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. Lisa Carter, the CEO of Niswonger Children's Hospital, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, $23,995. 17 track, $17,548. 17 cruise, $16,488. 17 spark, $10,950. 17 Malibu, $18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are live here again at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio. The Cletus Green constructed studio is where we are. And, of course, thanks to both of those young ladies, Tiffany Willis and Lisa Carter, the CEO of Niswonger Children's Hospital, stopping by. Here's some breaking news. College football. Ole Miss officials have been notified they'll receive their long-awaited ruling from the NCAA Committee on Infractions tomorrow morning. A source familiar with the institution said that. So the Rebels are accused of 15 Level 1 violations, including lack of institutional control. Appeared in front of the NCAA Committee on Infractions in Covington, Kentucky back in September. And so the NCAA Committee on Infractions can either accept the self-imposed penalties Ole Miss leveled against themselves or add additional penalties, and so they'll know tomorrow. Former Ole Miss coach Hugh Freeze, who resigned in July because of off-field issues, is also charged with failure to monitor his staff. He might face a suspension or show cause from the NCAA, which would require any school wanting to hire him to appear before the Infractions Committee in the future. So, again, they'll know tomorrow. Again, Ole Miss officials have been notified. They will receive their long-awaited ruling from the NCAA Infractions Committee or Committee on Infractions tomorrow morning. The Rebels are accused of 15 Level 1 violations, including lack of institutional control. Appeared in front of the NCAA Committee on Infractions in Covington, Kentucky back in early September. So we'll keep an eye on that, see what's going on there and that story that's breaking here this morning in college sports. Let's take a look at NASCAR, see what's happening in NASCAR. It has been announced that Dale Jr. is not going away totally. Dale Jr. is going to be the Grand Marshal of the Daytona 500 coming up next February the 18th to be exact. Daytona International Speedway announcing that the two-time winner of the Great American Race is set to serve as Grand Marshal for the 60th running of the Daytona 500 on February the 18th of next year. The recently retired Earnhardt won the Daytona 500 in 2004 and 2014. Come February, of course, his duties will include giving the command to start the engines to the field, and so Dale Jr. will be your Grand Marshal for the Daytona 500 coming up next year. We keep talking about Kurt Busch. We'll have on tomorrow our buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. What's the latest? Is or is he not? Kurt Busch remains confident and optimistic that a new contract with Stewart-Haas Racing for next season will be forthcoming. The driver said during Champions Week, which again the dinner's tonight in Las Vegas. They'll crown the champion officially tonight, Martin Truex Jr. Busch says, quote, "It's all a work in progress. Monster has stood by my side and Ford has been supportive. I like the way the two sides are coming together. My focus has been more about the people and the personnel and how we're going to make this work to be more successful for next year." Again, Kurt Busch says winning Daytona was great, but we want more. Busch provided one of the great season highlights last year with his win of the Daytona 500 in his first Great American Race win. But in August, here Race Week in Bristol, reports surfaced that Stewart-Haas Racing would not pick up the option on his contract in 2018. The team also tweeted they expected Busch to return in 2018. The driver said the same. So he says, quote, "We'll see how it all plays out. I'm not too worried about it." Kurt Busch, 29 wins, the Monster Energy Series, was the 2004 Series champion. Again, the number 41 Stewart-Haas Racing Ford qualified for the playoffs this year and finished 14th in the standings. Again, everything culminating tonight in Las Vegas with the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Awards dinner tonight. We'll get a full report about that tomorrow from our buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. He'll be with us by phone as we'll be live tomorrow at Food City in Virginia Avenue. On Virginia Avenue, I should say, in Bristol. So Dale Jr., Grand Marshal for the Daytona 500. Kurt Busch says he feels like he'll be back in Stewart-Haas Racing. I keep hearing that it's going to be Matt Kenseth taking that seat. They're going to put him in there and let him drive because Kurt Busch, you know, if it's a foregone conclusion it's going to happen, then why is it August, September, October, November, and tomorrow kicks in a new month? So you're talking 120 days roughly to get this contract signed. So it may not be peace in the valley for Kurt Busch, as we all think. And again, Matt Kenseth sits there waiting in the wings. And, you know, the old X Factor, nobody's saying, but where's Carl Edwards in all this? Carl stepped away from the sport, but you keep hearing rumblings that he wants to come back in a limited capacity. So I don't know if limited would be to run just a certain amount of races, or limited meaning just he wants to go for full-time for another year or two. Limited can be interpreted several different ways, but Edwards is out there, obviously. And again, Kurt Busch and Matt Kenseth, who recently, of course, finished up the season and has no ride for 2018. I keep hearing, including someone I feel like is in the know, Dale Jarrett says he feels like, before it's all said and done, Matt Kenseth will be in the Kurt Busch ride for 2018. So we'll see. And stranger things certainly have happened in the world of NASCAR. Hey, don't forget, speaking of NASCAR, tomorrow's the cutoff date for Bristol Motor Speedway, selling tickets again. You have... Tomorrow is the big day to capitalize on tickets at Food City. And let's see, let me make sure I got this right here. Race fans can still go to Food City and get your tickets for the spring racing season at Bristol Motor Speedway. And we also have, and I had it right here, and where'd it go? Oh, I know where it's at. It's in my NASCAR book. So we've got some special ticket pricing going on through today. Tomorrow it starts a different pricing, and that was the folks at Bristol Motor Speedway as well. And let's see if I can find that real quick. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Right on time, he's here. Our buddy Carmichael's getting ready to sit down in the seat here momentarily after the break, and so thought I had it. I do have it somewhere, but I can't find it, get my hands on it. But anyway, unless it's right here, stuck in behind the Speedway and lights, and it is not. So I'll see if I can't find it in the break. But there is a special pricing through today at Bristol Motor Speedway for the tickets for the 2018 racing season. And again, Food City is now selling the tickets. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. Again, but Food City is now selling the tickets for the spring race. Now let's just go ahead and do it real quick. April's Food City 500 tickets are $50 for adults, $10 for kids 12 and under. With the Bass Pro Shop NRA Night Race, tickets are $60 for adults and $10 for kids 12 and under. That's going on now at Food City, at all Food Cities. Tickets for the NASCAR Xfinity Series event, April's Fitzgerald Gliders Kit 300 and the Food City 300, available for $30 for adults per event, and they're free for kids 12 and under. So you can get those, and each ticket purchased at Food City will earn shoppers 500 additional value points on the Food City value card. So, and those are redeemable to save on fuel and groceries. So when you buy the ticket, you get 500 Food City value points per purchase of your ticket. So you buy a couple of tickets and you're looking at 1,000 points. That ain't bad. That'll work. That dog will hunt. So that's going on, and we'll be at Food City tomorrow, Virginia Avenue in Bristol. Quick break. We'll be right back. He's here. We got all kinds of things to talk about. The Norfolk and Southern down in Knoxville. It's called a train wreck. Tennessee football. Carmichael joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications and 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, there you go. Cash for Christmas. Share or retweet the images of our show and automatically enter yourself for $100 cash. We'll give it away 2 weeks from tomorrow. Again, every time you share or retweet, it equals 1 entry. There's no limit on the number of entries you can make. I can tell you right now, without even looking, Renee McNeil over in Elizabethton is leading the pack. I mean, every day it's like bing, 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 bing. She's hitting the share, and we appreciate that very much. And I want to say hello to Nikki Palmer. Also, hello to some folks. Hello to AT and all the folks up in West Virginia. Rick Ranson down in Florida watching the show. Tom Kirby out in Texas watching the show. We appreciate that. Of course, Chris Payne works over at Eastman's watching the show. So we appreciate you guys and ladies watching the show. And be sure and share it. Again, just go to the Facebook page, the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page, or go to TomTaylorSports.com. And let's get him in here. My man's in the house. We got lots to talk about. The train wreck. I call it the North Fork and Southern down in Knoxville. It is an absolute train wreck. It's an embarrassment to the university. You know, and Andy and I were talking about this before the show. It's not just the athletic department. The whole university is embarrassing. It's a national, to me, an embarrassment. I graduated from Marshall, so I don't have Tennessee UT ties as a student, but it's an embarrassment, the whole thing. And Jeff Brome comes off the plane in New York, says, I had some dialogue with these guys, but there was nothing concrete. He's 6-6 this year at Purdue. Of course, Dorn now the very latest. He's trying to get a counter offer from North Carolina State,
and they don't want to offer him. I've seen.
First off, good morning. How are you?
Oh man, I have been to a pig calling and a goat roping, and I've never seen anything even this beats even those two things, because it is the worst. It is the worst search for a manager, coach, anything I've ever seen in almost 50 years of following sports. There's nothing like this. Is worse than the last 2 hires that they've made down there. It's, but and when you go to the Schiano thing, the Penn State thing wasn't what got me. I knew what he had done in Tampa. It wasn't his record in Tampa. He was a horrible human being in Tampa. He was, and I said it, I don't know if I said it on this show, but I said it a couple of weeks ago when his name first mentioned. I said, it's Butch Jones with the worst personality. And that was what you're getting. And that's what Dave Doeren is. It's even worse than Butch Jones. Same thing, Butch Jones with the worst personality. And the Schiano thing was miserable. And, you know, the fan base, at least the only positive thing that Tennessee's done in this whole thing is they listened to the fans. The pressure was so hot on Sunday they had to. But now they're going to get sued. I'm sure Schiano is. The story is the rumors are he's retained counsel to sue Tennessee for defamation on this.
Sure, defamation of character, slander, libel, lots of things he can throw out there in a lawsuit. Bottom line is Dave Doeren again has been offered by Tennessee. Apparently, he's getting a counter offer of North Carolina State, his current job, his current position, or his current employer.
Their offer is go, because they were going. When we talked earlier this year about on one of the first shows, Thursday football shows, we talked about coaches on the hot seat. 5 coaches. He was one I said was because there was talk even before the season. He barely lasted last season. They got hot. They beat Carolina at the end of the season. He was able to save his job. And this year he starts out like 5-1, and then the end of his year was a train wreck.
All right, let me run some names past you. Tell me, all right, as we said at the top of the show, Florida State comes out today and tells Jimbo Fisher the proverbial either poop or get off the pot.
Well,
tell us what you're going to do. You're going to go to A&M. He said, I want to wait till after Saturday's game. Florida State says, we got to know now if you're going to stay with us, if you're bolting to Texas A&M. So,
well, Monday, Texas A&M has got a board of trustees meeting today.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to confirm the $10 million payout to Sumlin. They've got to, I guess, sign off on that. They've got to write that check. And then I'm sure right behind there is like, okay, our thing is Jimbo Fisher coming on as coach. And I'm sure maybe by the end of the day, you'll have clarity that he takes the Texas A&M job. You know, maybe he stays and coaches Saturday's game, because Saturday's game could get him into a bowl. It's bowl eligibility. If he doesn't coach, if for some reason Texas A&M, they tell him, you know, go on, I would look at somebody like either Rick Trickett or Randy Sanders coaching the team on Saturday.
All right, here we go. I'm throwing names out at you. As Tennessee head coaching position, Jimbo Fisher. Why didn't they go after him?
I think the two big things, I think A&M had more money, I believe, number one. But number two is the working relationship he has with the A&M athletic director. He was a guy, had been at LSU when Jimbo was an assistant down there before. He went to Washington as an assistant athletic director under Mark Emmert and left Washington to take the Texas A&M job. That's the big reason. Well, that, and it's much better facilities that he's got in Tallahassee at being College Station, but it's the working relationship, I think.
Got coming up in just a few minutes, Andy Dietrich, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet, is coming on with a big announcement, so we'll let him say that coming up in a few minutes. Andy's got big news on a personal front. It's kind of a sad day here at Champion, so we'll let him tell you all about that coming up here. You know, he's taking
the Tennessee.
He's keep it under wraps. Keep it under wraps. All right, number 2, Mike Norvell, Memphis, 18-6 in Memphis, of course, with Riley Ferguson.
Tom, you could throw anybody other than Dave Boring out there to coach Tennessee, and it would be acceptable.
Why not? Why are they not going after Norvell? He's in Memphis. What's
I think he's down the list. I just think he's going to be a name. I mean, he would be a name down the list.
I think Miles.
That's one of the several heads. There's a few head scratchers.
There's one of them,
and he's one of them. It's like they've not even talked to him.
No.
And people in Knoxville are like, you haven't even at least talked to him. And
I've read where he may take Lee Corso's spot on ESPN Game Day because Corso may be retiring, and he's one of the candidates to take over that here, Spurrier. But still, don't you? I mean, guy won the national championship. Don't you reach out to him?
And the story is if you did hire Les Miles, he would at least bring John Chavis in as defensive coordinator. Right now, Tennessee needs honestly, that university needs somebody that has Tennessee ties to take over that job, if nothing else for a short-term thing. But they need somebody with Tennessee ties to take that.
Tony Carmichael, Talking Sports. So this is what I've proposed all week long. If you've watched the show, this is what I say. Still say it's works. I think it's the right thing to do is to get Philip Fulmer to say, I'm going to be there for 2 years. I'm going to be the head coach. right now. He's down there. He can pull a staff together pretty quick. He can go get this decommit kid, the Mays kid from Knox Catholic, convince him to stay in at UT, and tell everybody right up front it's a 2-year gig or a 1-year gig or whatever. Go get T. Martin, see if you can get him to come in and be an offensive coordinator. It's a ball for life right there. Albert Hainsworth, all these guys have said checkbooks closed up. Do you all show me that you're serious about Tennessee football? Philip Fulmer is there. He's liked, obviously. He's an ambassador for the school. Why not Fulmer?
They have not even spoken to Team Barton. Not even spoken. Now, that could be another set of sticky thorns coming as well. Because, in the NFL, you have the Rooney Rule that says that and they've not even spoken to T. Martin. Now, a lot of T. Martin's thing, a lot of this is, from what I understand, is there's, Peyton's one of the people with the Hassels. The Hassels are calling all the shots down there, even though they're running the Cleveland Browns into the ground. Jimmy is down in Chattanooga, got his voice on tape with the Pilot J trial, doing dirty deals. So it's like, and now you're not even talking to T. Martin. If nothing else, bringing him in as, if they bring in somebody like, and Kevin Steele has been a name mentioned, Auburn defensive coordinator. He's coached at Tennessee before. He's probably one of the best recruiters the last 20 or 30 years. He's recruited all sorts of he recruited Chuck when he was at Tennessee. People thought Chuck Webb from Knoxville was going to Michigan, Ohio State. Kevin Steele got him to stay at home and play at Tennessee. He's recruited Derek Brooks, Florida State All-American, super player in the NFL. He recruited Derek Brooks. He's recruited a number of people why not bring him in as a head coach, bring T. Martin in as the offensive coordinator, bring some other people with Tennessee ties, maybe Rodney Gardner back, who's also an ace recruiter that's been at Tennessee during some of their glory period. Maybe bring a staff like that back, or, and this is the one thing, and it's been catching momentum with Tennessee fans the last few days, the Lane Train.
Lane Kiffin.
That has been the, and Curry will never do it, because Curry would never do it. Fulmer would never do it. But now, if you went down and brought the Tennessee UT Chattanooga athletic director in,
is Curry in trouble?
Curry's in trouble. I mean, and
he's out.
The only reason they're going to keep Curry is if they get.
Because he's got a $5 million buyout.
Well, it's not the money. Now it's not the money anymore, because there's other boosters that said we'll write the check and get him out. But when all this stuff happened, legal ramifications, a sports attorney said the best thing for Tennessee to do would be keep Curry, because if you keep him on as he's an employee, and if you do get sued, it's not like he would be if you dropped him, he could be a hostile witness towards in a lawsuit, and you're better off having him with you than against you.
We're talking to Carmichael. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Andy Dietrich with the big announcements will be coming on board here in a few minutes. And he sent me a thing a while ago. It's hilarious. A little thing about this guy's down in front of his team. It's a Pop Warner team. He says, kids, they have offered me the UT job, and I've said no. It's a coach talking to the Pop Warner football team. It's terrible.
Well, I think if Jimbo leaves, then I think probably the number 1 and 2, you're going to decide down there, do you want Willie Taggart or Charlie Strong?
Oh, at Florida State?
At Florida State.
They're going after Taggart. They've already said that.
Yeah.
They've already reached out to him.
And he's on the next plane.
Yeah.
I mean, if they pay his buyout.
Well, yeah, because he's in Oregon.
Yeah, he's
so
on
Oregon versus Florida State.
Yeah, he's on the next. Even though Oregon's got all that Nike money, he's would come back, I would think.
Now, the guy that I said last week is not interested in the job, and I've not heard any more about him, is Justin Fuente, Virginia Tech, and I don't think he's going to stay put in Blacksburg.
And it's hard, why if you went. It's just crazy how they did this, because the guy all along, I think, was Mullen. And when Chip Kelly took the Florida job, when Chip Kelly took the UCLA job, Mullen then said, okay, well, then I'm going to Florida. I mean, that was I think Mullen was their number 1 guy from the get-go.
What about Jim Moore, the guy that got canned at UCLA?
I wouldn't hire
none.
Okay.
I'm throwing out names.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a warm body approach.
Kevin, to me,
breathing, let's go talk.
They haven't talked to Kevin Sumlin. Why haven't you talked to Kevin Sumlin?
Or Todd Graham from Arizona State?
Or Chad Morris from SMU, and that's been a name that's been bandied about. Has been Chad Morris. I mean, great offensive mind. People yesterday, I saw some people kind of poo-pooing Brahms, saying he was just 6-6. He was just 6-6 at Purdue. Purdue had only won 9 games in 4 years. Purdue beat Iowa and Iowa. Guess what? Ohio State didn't beat Iowa. Ohio State got motorboated in Iowa. He won more games. He beat more top quality teams than Ohio State and Wisconsin did this year.
By the way, let's dispel another two rumors. Graham Clark is not going to UT, or is Stacey Carter, because I jokingly said this morning they may be up here talking to these guys. I mean, it really, to me,
well, George Worrell, that was another name that I've heard. It's like, well, why don't if they brought somebody like Steele in as a head coach, bringing Quarles from Furman is possible. If you didn't bring T. Martin, hiring Quarles is like an offensive coordinator from Furman.
It's craziness.
And
so Jimmy Haslam, yes, he's running the athletic department because he gave the first $30 million to renovate Neyland Stadium, so he has a definite play in this.
And they've been running, and the Haslams have been running the athletic department down there for probably the last 10, 15 years. And they run the Browns, and you see how well they do with the Browns. And that's a professional organization. You hire a guy that his whole experience has been professional baseball, and you bring him in to help run your front office in football. I mean,
you ready to pick?
Yeah, I think how did I do last week? I think I did okay.
You went 8 for 10, but Mr. Copenhagen was our winner chicken dinner, went 9 for 10.
Oh,
only one he missed was Washington State. So,
and that's another guy. Why haven't they gone out there and talked to the Pirate? I mean, at least he would be He would be entertaining. He would throw the ball. His Monday press conferences. Oh, it would be in Knoxville. It would be required viewing.
You just wonder. I mean, I don't know. I'm not close to it down there. I'm just up here speculating on Champion Chevrolet. We just wonder who made the list up, and some of these, to me, obvious guys.
You could have thrown a dart and made it better. You could have put a bunch of people's names on a dartboard and thrown the dart blindfolded.
The first guy, well, if I was in the catbird seat, I could make the decision. The first one I would have went to would have been Les Miles. Tell me yay or nay. I would have never asked John Gruden. Les Miles. Then I would have went to Sumlin. I would have talked to him after he got Campbell, Texas A&M. And then, see, who's the third guy I would have talked to?
Why did it take you so long
to
go
Michael
to Gundy? Well, no. Oh, God, no.
Okay.
No. Why did it take you so long to go to Gundy? I mean, why would you go from Mullen to Schiano to
Gundy played him like a fiddle.
Oh, yeah.
It got him a pay raise.
And you know what? Good for him, because you know what his program's never going to be? He's Oklahoma.
The shadow of Oklahoma.
Oh, guess what? Oklahoma, when he decided to stay at Oklahoma State, they cheered, because it's like, hey, you know the movie Tombstone? He says, "I'll be your Huckleberry."
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Well, he's Oklahoma's Huckleberry.
There you go.
You've got Texas out in the Big 12. It's a better program than Oklahoma State. TCU now has become a better program than Oklahoma State. He's a 4th or 5th program out there, and guess what? You'd have a better chance of winning a national championship at Tennessee than you would Oklahoma State.
See, here's the tough part. It's the tough pill to swallow, in my opinion, that the Tennessee program is now all of a sudden the luster we think it is here in Tennessee. It's a great program, and it is, and it has been, and we'll at someday get back to that. But right now, it's not the program, because there's too many coaches saying thanks. I mean, Cutcliffe said thanks, but no thanks. And I get that to a point, but it's not the program that everybody once thought it was.
No, because the last 2 people three, counting Kiffin, last 3 people you brought in here just had no clue about doing it. They've missed on so many. It's just like a story I've heard it now several times. When they were looking at basketball coaches, it's been probably 3. It was when they hired the Buzz Peters and Jerry Green deal.
Yes. After Wade Houston, right? Or before Wade Houston.
Right after. It was after Houston.
Okay, after Wade Houston.
Ernie Grunfeld talked to them, who's one of the 2 or 3 greatest players in the history of the program, and he was working in the NBA at the time, GM. He said, there's a guy up here in the Philly area named Jay Wright. As an assistant coach, you might want to talk to him. Never talked to him. And so they went. So then Buzz Pierce and Jerry Green before they got lucky with Bruce Pearl.
Last question before we get into the picking battle. All right. I think what's happened down in Tennessee on Sunday, you've set a precedent. You've opened up Pandora's box, because now fans are, if the leadership will allow them, that's the key here. If the leadership allows them, the fans are going to get involved more and more in the hiring decisions of coaches based on what happened in Tennessee.
Who's freighting the money? Who's paying most of the money? It's like yesterday they crying about poor Eli getting benched. I I'm like, why didn't the fans raise mortal, you know what, like they did down here? Because really, they handled that wrong. The Giants handled that wrong. You didn't need to bring Geno Smith in to see what Geno Smith's played 30 games in the NFL. He's horrible. He's never more than a backup. He's an emergency quarterback you put in if your quarterback gets hurt. But Davis Webb, you do need to see. He was a draft pick this year. Davis Webb supposedly still not ready. A week or two away from being ready. Why not let I think Eli would have handled that better. And when you get to the last couple of games of the year, if you want to let Davis Webb play the whole game, I think Eli would have been okay with that, because they're whatever. Hey, we've got to see what we've got in this kid. The story this morning is supposedly he has asked the Giants for his release. Now, whether that is true, but I think that is a Adam Schefter story, that he's asked the Giants for his release. And we talked about this back before the trade deadline, when the Giants were really horrible. I don't know why they didn't try to make a deal with Jacksonville for him to go to Jacksonville and play and be reunited with Tom Coughlin and play on a team that, if you put Eli Manning with that team, they got a chance to go far in the playoffs. They've got a great defense. You've got Leonard Fournette, running back, really one of the best running backs in the NFL this year. You got some receivers down there who can catch a ball. D.D. Westbrook. Why didn't you take a chance to bring a veteran quarterback in? And I think that's the most logical move for Eli if he decides, he does want released or wants out at the end of this year. I think Jacksonville's his, if he wants to continue playing in the NFL, if he wants to do like Peyton and try to, because Jacksonville keeps doing, unless, and this is another thing, Doug Marrone at Jacksonville has said Tennessee is a place he would always love to coach.
Who did?
The Jacksonville head coach, Doug Marrone. He was at Syracuse before. He's been, this is his second, I think, NFL job. He was with the Bills, and he's always said, I'd like to coach Tennessee.
Shannon Morlock says Les Miles. Andy Dietrich says Tom Taylor. Kurt Stevenson says former Martin. You got the right choice. Eric Buckles watching live. Some of the folks. Kim Williams watching live. Thank you. We got we're rolling pretty good here today. So that's
and
good
the
stuff.
guy I would, and another guy they've probably not spoken to, but the guy that I have said all along, he was one of my top 5 guys to go talk to. Besides James Franklin, was Brent Venables at Clemson. Why you didn't? I was afraid yesterday when they said Curry was in the Carolinas talking to Doran. I was afraid then he was going to go to Charlotte and talk to Mike Shula, and that is a train wreck. That would have been even a bigger train wreck.
We're talking to Carmichael, talking a little sports here. We got some college basketball to take a look at coming up here, and maybe I'll get his take on the Preds winning last night on the ice against the Vancouver Canucks. We'll talk about that. All right, picking panel, here we go. Pac-12 championship on Friday, Stanford and Southern Cal.
I like Southern Cal.
Southern Cal, all right.
Even though I'll go with Southern Cal. If they can't let Bryce Love have a big game, if he does, it's
lights out.
Yeah.
AAC, Memphis and Central Florida.
I watched that Central Florida, South Florida game. It was one of probably 3 or 4 most entertaining games I've seen in college football this year. I go with Central Florida.
UCF, Scott Frost heading to Nebraska.
Yeah, I think that's a done deal. In any other year, Central Florida would have had a shot if there was a real national championship tournament. He'd have a real shot. But this year, he's going to get into probably the Orange Bowl to play somebody, Notre Dame maybe, in that game.
Florida announces the payoff for Michael Wayne, $7 million. Do you like Dan Mullins? Is that a good fit for him?
Yes, that's good. Yes.
Gators hit a home run?
Probably a double off the wall, and they had to throw the ball. He had to dive back into second base. Yeah.
There you go. Big 12, Horned Frogs and Boomer Sooners.
I like the Boomer Sooners.
All right. Georgia, Auburn, and the SEC Championship.
It's tough to beat a team twice in one season.
Auburn's not going to win. I'm going to tell you, Georgia's going to win that game Saturday.
And especially but Auburn's been playing well. I'm going to ride and die with the math professor.
Oh, you're going with Auburn?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to ride and die with the math, because this may be the math professor's last game at Auburn.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'll bet you lunch at any restaurant, Georgia will have more. When they played them Auburn the first time, Georgia had 46 yards of rushing on 32 carries. I will promise you they'll get more than that.
They should get more than that, but I'd still like Auburn to win.
All right,
yeah.
I'm going to take Georgia. I think the Bulldogs will win. Miami and Clemson.
Clemson.
All right. And then Ohio State and Wisconsin.
I'm going to go with Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not a great team. They're a good team. Their floor is better than Ohio State's floor. Ohio State's so up and down, and you just don't know which Ohio State team you're going to get. And Wisconsin's just like Steady Eddie. And I think Steady Eddie, the tourist beats the hare.
Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, Wisconsin. You like the top four?
And I like the top four, and then that sets it up for. I think it'll be Clemson. Yeah, it'll be Clemson. If it stays, it'll be Clemson. I think it'll be Clemson. It'll be where they put Clemson and Auburn in the opposite ends, to where they don't play since they've already played each other once. Yeah. You'll set it into the opposite ends to where they would then meet for the national championship.
Clemson, Oklahoma, Auburn, Wisconsin, something like that.
Clemson, boy, if it's Oklahoma, Auburn, Clemson, Oklahoma would be a dandy of a national championship game.
Mm-hmm. By the way, speaking of that, we're going to give you a chance to go to the Chick-fil-A Bowl. We got tickets to give away to go to the Chick-fil-A Bowl New Year's Day, 12:30 in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. 2 tickets. We're going to give it away on December the 20th. Here's how you enter. You place a mobile carryout order at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. A catering order, including trays, that qualifies you. And other ways to enter found on Facebook or Instagram at Chick-fil-A CFAJC. We're going to give away those tickets on the show. We'll be there on Wednesday, December the 20th, right before Christmas. And so you can win yourself 2 tickets to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, January 1st, 12:30. That'd be a pretty cool game.
Especially if you're a Crimson Tide fan, because that's probably where you boys are going to be playing this year's the Peach Bowl.
Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Because that's one of the game of 6. So Alabama's not going to. Alabama. The only way they have to get in, they need somebody. They need Oklahoma. They need Oklahoma, Clemson, or Wisconsin to lose. That's the only way they get in. If they don't, if Ohio State wins, they don't jump Alabama. They wouldn't jump. Well, yeah, Alabama would still get in, I think. So they need a loss. They're the ones. They're even more than anybody else. Miami's the one that needs the most help. They need everybody. I think they need everybody in there to lose,
so they can move up.
Talking
to Carmichael, switch to college basketball. I don't understand this, but they're doing it. This is twice this week. Tim Floyd stepped away from UTEP, and this morning Jeff Lebo steps away from East Carolina immediately. 51-year-old coach, 8th season with the Pirates, 116 wins, 122 losses. That may be part of it. Coming off 3 straight losses, or 3 straight losing seasons. He's 2-4 this year. Walks in with his wife to the athletic director and says, "I'm gone." Michael Perry, the acting head coach during Lebo's hip surgery last season, will again take over the head role. So East Carolina looking for a coach down the road. What do you think?
He's walking away before they can fire him. I mean, and if it's his health and he's doing it, God bless him. Then that's what you should do. But he's walking away, and we as being with ETSU, we like Jeff Lebo. He was an assistant here, and he played at Carolina, but he's never won anywhere he's been. Everybody's always had this fascination with Jeff. But anybody plays at Carolina and gets a coaching gig, everybody's fascinated with him. Jeff Lebo didn't win at Chattanooga. Jeff Lebo didn't win at Auburn. Jeff Lebo hasn't won East Carolina. And East Carolina's, I mean, it's a horrible job. I mean, because you're way out there away from everything. Tim Floyd's another one. Tim Floyd's had a checkered past as well. Tim Floyd also coached in the NBA, was a horrible NBA coach with the Bulls. So it's like, sometimes you walk away before they can fire you.
Tennessee goes 5-1. They win last night over Mercer. Again, outscored them 28-7 in the first 12.5 minutes. Going away 84-60. Volunteers 5-1. Is this an improved Tennessee team?
It's an improved team. People pick Tennessee 13th in the SEC. Well, I don't think you're going to have a 13th place team in the SEC. It's a team that very well could get into the NCAA tournament. This is a team that could end up in the top, say 6 or 7. I look at Tennessee maybe as the 6th or 7th best team in the SEC right now, and that should get you in.
Bucks go into the Bronx and beat Fordham 82-77 last night. Bo Hodges, the 6'4 freshman, career high 20 points. Deshaun Bradford had a season high 22. Bucks get the win on the road. They get back home this weekend, but East Tennessee State out of the gate playing some pretty good basketball.
They are, and like all of Coach Forbes' teams, it takes them a while to get going. He has so many transfers that come into the program, and that's his, how he does it. maybe they struggle a little bit early in the first part of the season, but by the end of the year, they're clicking on all cylinders, and I think they will this year.
Bucks now go to 4-3. They shot 59% from the field and won back-to-back games for the first time this season. So the Bucks win last night, 82-77. Lady Bucks win over Murray State, 96-68, and so they're off to a 5-4 start for the Lady Bucks of Brittany Ezell. Top 25 college basketball last night. Number 4 Nova, number 13 North Carolina, 24th ranked Alabama, 15th ranked Gonzaga, 23rd ranked TCU, 10th ranked Miami, and number 1 ranked Duke. The Blue Devils 10-point win over Indiana. Tonight, top 25 college basketball. Number 22 Texas Tech, again at Seton Hall. It'll be 5th ranked Notre Dame and number 3 Michigan State. The West Virginia Mountaineers at 19th in the country at 6-1, hosting NJIT.
New Jersey, don't laugh. That NJIT made it to the NCAA tournament a year or 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. They're out of New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Yes.
There you go. They're playing West Virginia tonight in Morgantown, and 9th ranked Texas A&M hosting UTPA, University of Texas.
What is it?
UTPA.
University of Texas Pan American. It used to be Pan American University. That was where
yes.
the Texas Abe Lemons coached Pan. Abe Lemons coached Pan before he went to Texas. When he got his start, and when people first started, he told all these stories and jokes. He was at Pan American back in the 70s. It shows you how old we are.
How we can remember that.
How we can remember those things. Yes.
And by the way, if you're interested, and you probably aren't, but I am, my beloved Thundering Herd Marshall lost last night, 114-104 to William and Mary in Williamsburg. So the Thundering Herd now 4-3. Going up and seeing them play next month.
They're entertaining. Isn't Dan D'Antonio's brother?
Yeah, Dan D'Antoni.
Yeah, they run that same system that he runs. That that high up and down the court.
Oh yeah.
7 seconds or less.
Yep.
System. There had been rumors, had the Florida search gone even a little bit further, that Doc Holliday was a potential. I heard his name before they hired Mullen down at Florida. Doc Holliday was a name. They said, don't sleep on him getting I would hire Doc Holliday to coach at Tennessee before I would hire Dave Doran.
Who's the Marshall coach, by the way. Andy Dietrich joins us coming up here in a few minutes. NBA, let's see, the Cavs got Atlanta tonight. The Celtics are home tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. Who's the 3 best teams I saw last night? Golden State loses in overtime to the Lakers.
No, they won.
I'm sorry, they won 127-123. My bad.
Steph had 13 in overtime.
Well, he jumped on me real quick on that. I read it wrong. 127.
Yeah. We lost Monday night to Sacramento at home when Curry and Durant didn't play.
Top 3 teams right now in the NBA.
I still think Golden State, Boston, and Cleveland's going to get it figured out. I mean, Derrick Rose is finished. His career's, it looks like it's over in the NBA. I think Cleveland will figure it out and get there. Houston still has a shot with, Harden and Paul, but I like those 3: Cleveland, Golden State, and Boston.
Predators on the ice on the ice tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. Preds 15-6, Vancouver 11-10. Preds having a pretty good year.
They're having a great year. They lost in the shootout the other day, Sunday, to Carolina, but they have been having a really good year. Played well in the division. One of the top teams in the West.
I was looking at their December schedule at home. You've got Anaheim coming, the Boston Bruins, Vegas. You've got Winnipeg, Carolina, and Minnesota all coming to Nashville.
All those Winnipeg is a very entertaining team. Vegas has been better than expected in their expansion year. They score a lot. They struggle with their goaltending. They're down about their 4th or 5th goaltender now, but they score a lot. Very entertaining. So tonight you've got I would call it, in other years it would be entertaining NFL football, but to me, because Dallas is just horrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch my Seattle Sounders, my American soccer team, play tonight. If they can hold on, they will advance to the Major League Soccer Championship against Toronto. Coming up next week in Toronto.
Last thing, Major League Baseball, a couple of big free agents out there. Stanton, the Marlins said, okay, if you don't take this no-trade clause, if you don't move on, we got a 10-year, $295 million contract hang on this guy. If you don't move on, we're going to start selling off other players. They've pretty much put him in the corner. Looks like the Dodgers, Cardinals, maybe the Red Sox are the front runners for Stanton. He's one of the big free agents, but there's several guys
The Giants are also are very interested in him. Winter meeting's coming up here in the next couple of weeks. You're going to see some movement. I know the Cubs have got a couple answers on their pitching to do on their pitching staff with Arrieta and Lackey, and that's a big thing to see if they can still get enough pitching to be able to contend with Washington. I still think Washington is they're the team to beat next year in Major League Baseball with those three aces that they have out there that they can put out there every 5 days. It's going to be tough to beat them unless injuries happen, and hopefully they don't, because this may be Bryce Harper's last year in Washington.
What's going on in Parks and Rec?
We've got our basketball program begins Monday night. Still looking for referees and scorekeepers. If you're interested, come by the athletic office at Windeyer Park. If you're 16 years old, can pass a background check and have some knowledge of basketball. We are looking for officials and for scorekeepers. Also, the special one-day sale for the Daddy Dollar Dance next Friday, December 8th, all day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's $15 for 2 tickets, and the tickets don't go on sale until January, but normally they're $10 a ticket. You can get 2 for $15 or 3 for $20.
There you go.
So I'm told them I'm going to be right down there, and also we're doing something this year too with the Daddy Dollar Dance. Daddy Dollar Dance is from 6 to 8 on February 3rd, but from 5 to 6 we're going to have special needs students. Special needs, we're going to do a 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock dance for those. For adaptive, and my daughter and I will be there for the adaptive dance and stay for a little while the regular dance. So if you've got adaptive special needs children and you maybe think, well, I don't know how well, taking them out to do something, we are going to do that dance from 5 to 6 o'clock. It's the same price for the purchase for the Daddy Dollar tickets. We are looking at doing more programs for special needs children, special needs adults as well.
You got it. Great report.
Thanks,
See you next week.
Yes, sir.
Coming up next, Andy Dietrich, big announcement here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people. Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Andy Dietrich, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. We missed him last week. He was vacating, but he's back, and we've got it's kind of a sad day here at Champion Chevrolet, really. So
you see, I've sort of grown the beard like yours.
Yeah.
Mine's just a little darker for some reason than yours. I don't know why.
Well, because I'm older than you. So.
Oh, that's it.
Happy birthday! You turned
40.
Yeah,
40.
The big 4-0 last week.
Yeah.
And then the picking panel. Do you want to go ahead and get that?
I
out of
got
the way?
beat.
You got beat. Who got you?
Mr. Copenhaver.
Mr. Copenhaver put that smack down on him.
Well, I felt bad. I wasn't here last week, and I thought, well, I'm gonna give him this one.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Tim? So he was out last week. He's gonna give that one to you. Just let you win because he was out. So.
Okay.
No. So.
Did you see he's lost 40 pounds?
I know.
40.
He's a shadow of himself. Man, he's looking
How do they
sharp.
do that?
I don't know how he did. He's looking really good. Mr. Copenhaver is 40 pounds lighter. It's good.
Yeah.
Doing a great job.
You look for him on TV and look for that weight loss.
Yes.
I mean, you probably want him to build him seam now. I mean,
They'll have to Velcro him to
you
the light
know,
bulb. It'll blow
yeah,
away.
it gets windy when they're recording out there, and we have to sort of stand on either side of the camera and grab him if he floats away. And then we have to, he can't stand between the vehicles anymore because he can't see him.
Oh, he disappears.
It disappears. He's
so skinny.
he's so skinny, so we have to redo the camera angles.
You know, I wonder when I come in here on Thursdays if Andy's going to be here because I'm thinking one of these days he's going to put him in a headlock and just wear him out.
Throw a stapler at me.
Yeah, but it's okay. So it does look good. He's lost weight, and so anybody can do that and has the self-willpower to do it. I applaud him. So good job, Mr. Copenhaver. So he is 40 pounds.
He's
lighter.
not that. All the kids, like his kids' friends, and even his kids, they called him Big Tim.
Big Tim.
And now it's Slim Tim. I'm serious. I'm not making this up. A lot of times I make stuff up, but this is real.
All right.
Slim Tim.
Slim Tim. All right, so big announcement. Andy's going to tell us that it's kind of a sad day here at Champion because you're leaving.
I've said that I will take one for the team and go and coach the Vols.
There you go. So,
I'm tired of this, and it just needs to be settled. And I just stuck my hand up and said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Almost. So, if you're the head coach of UT, you would put what position would you put Pig?
Head recruiter, because of his positive attitude all the time.
All right, where would you put me?
Oh gosh,
in the broadcast
chief
booth.
bottle washer.
Yeah. Put me
Yeah,
on the
you
booth.
would be the voice of the Vols.
I'd do that in a heartbeat. That'd be good. All right.
And I'm going to do this just for a year.
Just for 1 year and then come back.
Get it stable.
Yeah.
Get
It needs
confidence
some
back,
stability.
and then they got a year to find a real
Coach.
big-time coach.
Where would you put Cletus on the staff?
Cletus, I don't know. I may put him like over the cheerleaders or something.
Where would you put Mr. Well, no, Tim has to stay here and run the show. So.
Yeah, Tim can't come.
No, he's got to
No,
run the place.
he has to stay here and keep doing the commercials and things like that.
Would you take Chris? Hokey, out and put him on the
Lord,
staff?
I don't know. He'd be hard to convert. To do good things for Tennessee instead of the Hokies.
Yeah, because he's big time Hokie man.
But maybe because he always likes defense in football. Maybe I'd let him do defensive coordinator or something if we could convert him.
Yeah. There you go. So Andy is leaving Champion to be the head of football coach.
I mean, this is gonna trend like the number one thing on Twitter
it's out.
and Facebook now. It's going to take off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, they flew in here last night and set him down and took him to, I think it was Taco Bell, and wined and dined him a little bit.
Yeah, they even bought my meal.
Nothing for UT now.
Yeah.
There's no stopping UT. That's good. So Andy's gone. When do you report as the head coach? When do you hit the recruiting trail?
Next week.
Yeah.
This
he
is
looks
it.
a bit like John Gruden. He looks a bit like Chucky.
Yeah.
Really. So.
Yeah. Tim's not paying attention.
Yes,
he
is too. He hears everything we're saying.
Yeah.
Don't let him fool you. So anyway, we're here at Champion Chevrolet. No, Andy's not leaving. He's going to be right here as the
Psych.
champion. Yeah, that was just a trick. April Fool's early.
Yeah.
So, but I do think Pig would be a good recruiter. I really do. Is what? Doran has said no.
He's been listening to it nonstop. He says he's over it, but he's not. He was walking around with his phone playing like whatever Vol Talk radio, so he knows everything.
He's in loop.
like he gets these secret emails from Tennessee. Like
Biggs on
he's signed up for some mailing list.
He's on the secret email list from Tennessee.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
I wonder who gave Curry the power to decide by himself, basically, who the next coach is. When I don't know what's right. I haven't been there, but you would think that he needs to surround himself with good people or hire a firm, and do this process. But it's just like now people are tracking the flight patterns for the Tennessee jet, so they know where he's taking off and landing and everything else. And and the secret's out. And who wants to come and coach at this mess that's right now?
You're exactly right. It's not the plum job, it was considered a very lucrative and a very highly respectable coaching job, and I don't think that's the case anymore until they get it turned around.
I think it started to, when Phil Fulmer, was going to be the athletic director, and I think he was told up till the day before, and then the next morning when they announced it, told him he wasn't getting it, and it's just it's just poorly run, and I read something the other day, when everybody's freaking out over the guy that used to be at Penn State,
Greg Schiano.
And one of our Tennessee representatives put on Twitter, this is whoever we put in this position will be the highest paid state employee, and we need to put somebody that's going to be in that's going to be a good face for Tennessee and a good leader for the Vols, for the university, and for the state. And I think he hit a spot on with that.
We're talking to our buddy Andy Dietrich, you see, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. We'll get into the deals coming up and the specials in just a second. Here's another story just breaking. Ohio State quarterback J.T. Barrett underwent minor knee surgery on Sunday. He will play against Wisconsin, the Big Ten championship game on Saturday. Surgery to clean up his injured right knee went well over the weekend, and so apparently it was a result of him getting hit in by a cameraman on the sideline. That's what we keep hearing, and so, was there an issue he dealt with for much of the 2017 season was re-aggravated when someone with a camera bumped his leg on the sideline before last Saturday's game. Barrett was warming up behind the team bench before taking the field when he was bumped and went to the ground by the guy.
Sounds like Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding all over again. It's
goodness
clubbing, but with a camera.
With a camera. Now, Pig says that Dorn's told him no, so I'm not. Hello, Tank Morrell.
I don't know.
And Renee McNeil and A.T. and Todd Fowler and Kim Williams and
Andy Dietrich's watching you on
Andy
there.
Dietrich and Christopher Burks and Denise Lane and Chris Payne. Some of the folks watching. David Strickland watching the show today. Thank you. Mike Hedrick, Melina Denny, Richard Myers, Shannon Morlock, Jerry McNeil, Steve Hatfield, Phil Litton in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. What's the school with old Phil? Old boy from West Virginia. Phil and Doug Reiser, thank you. Appreciate you guys watching the show today.
I was pulling this Facebook, see if anybody had any news up, and the first thing pops up, it says Applebee's is going to sell $1 Long Island iced teas all of December. That's big news.
That is big news. If you're a Long Island tea guy.
Yeah.
Does Chris losing weight too? Or just the way
he walks around like a stud horse.
Yeah.
A lot of times with that chest out. I don't know if he's really on a diet. He says he's pumping iron late at night.
Really?
And but he walks around and he'll stand in front of this window over here where you can see your reflection, and he'll flex and do that. And
my buddy back up home used to say he was pumping iron tonight. It was Iron City Brewskis. So is it, you talking about literal iron, or is that?
He could be taking iron pills and just telling us the other.
Okay.
Did you see the basketball game last night when the student section all was chanting "Fire
Curry"? Yeah, down at UT. Unbelievable.
I don't know, what are they waiting on
to fire him?
Yeah, I mean,
see if Fulmer will take it. There you go. Fire Curry.
Yeah, I mean.
Anyway, we're talking to Andy Dietrich from Champion Chevrolet. Well, they've gathered all. It must be lunch hour. They're all gathered.
It is. It is. It's our biggest decision of the day. I mean, and we have to have a lot of brain power to figure it out. And Pig is usually the lead point on lunch, but he won't go by himself unless Chris is down here.
Right.
So, and Chris has had a customer in his office because we're selling cars.
We are selling cars, yeah.
And so he can't go and make a decision without his wingman, the man that takes iron or whatever he does.
So Pig decides where we go for lunch.
Well, he sort of takes a vote.
Okay.
And but then when we get it decided, we can't go until Chris is ready to go.
Pig, where we're going for lunch today? They haven't decided yet, so it's still up in the air.
Oh boy.
So
I may be on my own today.
You what?
I may be on my own today.
So Pig drives the bus on taking the vote for lunch.
Yeah, and it's usually him and Bob Bays will go too. It's the three of them. It takes about three of them to go get five of us lunch.
And then Chris has input too, right?
Yeah, Chris is funny.
Yeah.
Chris is funny. Do you know anybody that doesn't like chicken? Do you?
Not many, no.
Okay, Chris does not like chicken. I mean, how do you survive in life?
In East Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, you got Chick-fil-A and East Coast Wings, Wild Wings, and Cheddar's. Cheddar's got good chicken.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Pretty good chicken.
Yeah, it's I don't know. He likes pumping that iron but not eating that chicken.
All right, let's tell them what's going on.
Well,
what we got.
What's going on is today only.
Yeah, GM.
GM employee pricing ends at close of business tonight. It's on most all 17 trucks. We've got 20% off most 2017 cars, and if you don't take that, they've got 0% for 72 months on most 2017 cars. So we don't know what comes out tomorrow. We always assume, at the first of every month, the rebates won't be as big, and sometimes. So I don't know. I would tell you, like we've talked earlier in the month, employee pricing has only happened 4 or 5 times in our 11 years here. It's a great deal. It saves you thousands of dollars. If you want to take advantage of that, this is the last day for it.
Folks have this month, haven't they?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a big cost-saving thing. And employee pricing is if you work for General Motors or retired from General Motors, actually work for the company, got a paycheck from them, that's what they buy the cars from. When they go to the dealer, they have a 9-digit code that they present to the dealer and buy it cheaper than anybody else can buy it. And so, but they're offering that to everyone. Everyone qualifies on select vehicles out here in the lot, which is most 2017 trucks. So it's a great deal. It's only happened 4 or 5 times in 11 years. So I would assume next month it'll be something different. I don't know what it will be till probably 8 or 9 tomorrow morning.
So obviously the bread and butter of the dealership, you still sell a lot of trucks, right?
It's still trucks. But what Tim and I were talking the other day, we've had a big month on new cars, new Chevrolet cars, and some Cadillacs. So this week has been different. I would tell you, it's been mostly Chevrolet cars, Malibus and Sonics and Sparks and Impalas. It's been a great car week.
So tell me, too, the old nameplate's been around for years, the Chevrolet Impala and the Chevrolet Malibu. Who would be in line for a Malibu?
Malibu is your sort of the flagship car. It's the bigger 4-door sedan. The most room in it, trunk room, seat room, leg room, headroom, over a Malibu. If you enjoy driving a big sedan, that is your car. If you want something more mid-size that competes, the Malibu's on the same line as sort of the Camry and the Accord. Mid-size that you don't need a big Impala, that's going to be the car for you.
Way to go.
Both of them get great safety ratings, 5-star, great gas mileage, good-looking cars. And never had Chevrolet about 6-7 years ago decided, we've relied for 30, 40, 50, 60 years on trucks and vans and SUVs and large SUVs. We needed to get into the car market. And they did, and they took it seriously. And we've got the best selection of new cars I believe Chevrolet's ever had. Quality and reliability and the way it looks and the fuel economy and the safety ratings, they've never been better.
Again, Chevrolet right here, nobody sells more Chevys from Mountain City to Memphis, from Memphis to Mountain City than Champion Chevrolet statewide, and they flat move through them. So today's the last day for you to, again, get the GM employee pricing. New month starts tomorrow with some new incentives. So
what is also the last day of?
November.
And your show tonight.
Show tonight, yes. The Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football
Yep.
Preview Show.
We'll have to hang it up till next year.
Yep. We'll put it on the, hang it up like sneakers in the locker.
We'll stick it in the closet back here, and
That's
we'll pull it back out
next year.
Yeah.
I think it's going good. I like it.
Oh yeah, I think it does too.
Yeah, it's just going to grow. It's first year. It's infancy, and so we're going.
You've had lots of good comments on your show today online. I've looked
Yep.
so on social media.
So we're going to take it to the next level next year. So we got some new plans already to jack it up a little bit for next year.
You see all your buddies at the Speedway or at in Las Vegas right now for the awards banquet.
Jerry's there.
Yep.
Drew's there.
Yep. I think most of them are there. Most of them have been there most of the week, and I saw where Bruton Smith got some big award last night. I forgot what it's called. I have to pull it up, but he was honored. And they had the burnouts on the strip yesterday, and I would like to go there and see that sometime. That would be. They shut the strip down to run. The drivers drive their NASCAR cars down them and do burnouts, 360s and everything else.
Be cool. The most attended race, attendance-wise, this year was not the Daytona 500. It was the night race at Bristol Motor Speedway. It was the biggest crowd they had all year.
They just announced that. Mm-hmm. Well, it's deceiving because Bristol Motor Speedway is it's a bowl. It's tiny and built straight up. So when you don't, you've got 75% of the field, it still looks like there's a lot of empty seats.
Yep.
But when you look at the grand scheme of things, the big picture at all the other tracks, it has more attendance than probably 75% of them for all the races. I mean, it's just more than Indianapolis or, any of the Charlotte, Atlanta. It's more bang for your buck. It's more exciting in my opinion. I am biased. It's 10 miles down the road on your right here, but and great people working there.
Yes.
But it is. I've been to other tracks, watched other races. It is the best race that you can see. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out.
There you go. Again, we're talking to my man Andy Dietrich, and again, he's exactly right. And the tickets, I found the ticket incentives. I knew I had it. Here it is for today only, because it wraps up today. Or actually through tomorrow, I'm sorry, valid through December the 1st. Tickets for the Food City 500, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race started at $60, with kids 12 and under just $10. Bristol Motor Speedway season tickets, that's the best value, and it is. You get 5 great days of short track racing are on sale. Adult tickets starting at $1, not $1, but $149. Kids season ticket just $20 to get a kid up to Bristol for 5 nights of racing next year. Order before December the 1st, which would be today, of course, and get your choice of rewards like pit passes, parking, or drivers meeting access. Call Bristol, 423-BRISTOL, or 1-866-415-4158, or go on the website at bristolmotorspeedway.com. Those prices are good through tonight as well to midnight, and they come out with a new price incentive starting tomorrow, which is a little bit different. So now, before I get out of here, these ladies that come through, Teresa's over there right now. Who are some of the other ladies that work upstairs we want to put a shout out to, because you have a great staff here?
We have that's Teresa. She's our comptroller here. We've got Megan upstairs that does our tag work. We've got Teresa Bond that does our accounts payable, and Jennifer accounts receivable and also helps with tags. We've got Renee back in service that does our warranty claims with our service department. We've got Rose. She works not Rose, drawing a blank here. Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
And we got our ladies upstairs. Stephanie, Kristen, and Brandy in our BDC, Business Development Center. So we've got great ladies that work for us that have been here a long, long time and do a great job for us, and we're very fortunate to have them.
Not much turnover.
Very, very little. We do not have a revolving door on this place, that's for sure. We've been very blessed with that over 11 years.
Before we get out of here, again, the Cash for Christmas, share retweet images or videos from the show. You'll be automatically entered to win $100 cash and some other prizes. It's now through December the 14th. Winners will be announced on Friday, December the 15th. One $100 cash winner, multiple prize winners. Every time you share or retweet equals 1 entry. There's no limit on the number of entries you can make, so the more you do, obviously, and it's been going great guns, and so Jeremiah's keeping tabs on that. So $100 cash just in time for Christmas.
goodness gracious, I'll win that.
There you go.
I'm eligible, aren't I?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You're eligible for everything.
I've shared it on everything today.
I know. You're in. And every time you do it, you're getting clicks.
I know, but it just started this past week.
Started Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, it goes through the 14th.
Okay.
You going to leave the beard? I like it.
I don't know.
What does Mrs. Dietrich think?
Haley finally, she hadn't said anything, and finally somebody said something from in front of her yesterday, and she goes, I kind of like it. And then my grandma, I had lunch with her yesterday. She's 89. She goes, I kind of like it.
So is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Person, I mean, when you get the endorsement of the two ladies in the family, is that good?
Yeah, but sometimes you wonder, family sometimes just says things to be nice. Like, oh, yeah, it doesn't look too good on him, but yes, honey, it looks really good.
Gotcha.
Poor guy, he should never have grown that. But we'll tell him it looks good because he's proud he grew it.
Yeah, he's proud he can do it.
It's not painted on or glued on.
It's not glued on. It's not Velcroed. Last question now. The last time we talked about music, you'd been to the Foo Fighters concert down in Knoxville. Been to any concerts lately?
No.
Any coming up?
I saw Ed Sheeran is playing at that new Mercedes-Benz thing next November in Atlanta. That's a long ways off. It's a year off, but, I'd like to see him in concert, but I haven't bought a ticket yet.
Who's Ed Sheeran?
The redheaded guy that's the number one guy right now other than Taylor Swift. He and Taylor Swift are best friends.
Is he a country music singer?
No.
He is?
No.
No.
I don't know
anything about Ed Sheeran.
I thought you used to do radio.
I did, but I don't ever remember. I did Love Notes.
You ever look at the Billboard or okay?
No. Ed Sheeran. He's a pop singer.
Yes.
Who's he sound like?
Like when I sing, but I'm not gonna sing right now. I don't want to.
You don't want to give me a sample?
No.
No.
Let's see here.
He's getting ready to Google. We're in overtime coverage. We've went past the 1 o'clock hour, and that's okay. Because
I don't think the FTC is going to shut you down or anything.
We're good. So, Ed Sheeran.
Well, you don't know who that is?
No, I don't know. So.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. You haven't heard that, or?
No.
I'm a little disappointed. And then there's, let's see.
Tim's looking at us. Want to know what we're doing.
And this is. Tim's been to sing. And he wants to go again. It's not your cup of tea.
No. Don't give me a ticket if you want to go see Ed Sheeran. Just.
So I shouldn't invite you.
No, I'm not going. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going. How you supposed
Tim, he doesn't know who Ed Sheeran is. I just played 3 songs over here.
Even Tim shook his head. I have no clue.
I said, didn't you used to do radio? Tim loves him.
He does love it. He told me that. He said that very emphatically. So
he can sing all his songs. You get in Tim's car, sometimes I'll hop in and have to drive somewhere. He's got that on.
He's singing Ed Sheeran? He
yes.
can sing along to Ed?
When his kids were growing up, I'd get in his car and he'd have the Disney music channel on. Or no, what's that Disney movie thing that was? What was those songs you used to sing, Tim?